Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. I think this is going to be the last episode for this series. Just because we're going to have version 17 out soon. I'm going to be starting a new series with that. And I don't feel like we really have enough time for me to accomplish a lot more with the current series. So we'll just call it here, I think, after today's episode. One thing I noticed here is that the coal feeding into the machine is becoming a bit of a bottleneck. And of course now it's not doing it. It does occasionally stop. We've got stack inserters on the output. The belt's not quite balanced because I've got productivity modules up here and not down here. So I think what I should do is put them on one of these machines so that both sides of the belt are affected by the speed change. Another thing that we could do is put in one speed module. So 3 productivity and 1 speed. Yeah, now it looks like coal is fast enough. When I first joined the game, the machine was stalling out periodically because it didn't have any coal. So anyway, this is, I think, a good opportunity to try out these fast longhand inserters. So let's make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those and see how those work. Oh yeah, it's much faster. Whoops. That's ridiculously fast. Okay, well, we shouldn't have any problem there now. Alright, and it looks like they're all emptying. Yeah, see, now we've got pretty much a full belt, which is what I was hoping to see. Okay, nice. So, I think now would be the time to set up some module production. And we'll see if we can set up a little factory that makes level 3 productivity modules. Where shall we do it? I didn't give myself much room, did I? We could do it up here, I suppose. We've got a pipe running through there. We could do it right here next to the mall. No, but I want to be after the blue belts. Or after the blue circuits. So, yeah, why don't we do it right up here. Okay, so I'm going to copy this whole section. We'll include the tiles, and then we'll subtract everything except for the power poles and the stone. And that'll go right there. Okay, and then we'll get rid of all the rocks and the trees. While my army of bots comes over to lay down the stone brick. Let's make sure we get RoboPort coverage up here. Oh, let's wait for this to get powered up. Ah, okay, I see the problem. Let's see. There we go. And I'll replace that with the Mark II power pole. And we'll put another RoboPort right here. Oh, no, it's got to be closer than that. Okay. Let's put one over here too. Okay, good. We'll get rid of that one. All right. So let's use the assembly machine force. And let's look at our ratios here. So the productivity 3s require 5 productivity 2s. And each one of those requires 4 productivity 1s. So we need something that goes from, let's see, 4 productivity 1s. And the productivity 1s take half the time as the 2s. And the 3s take twice as much time as the 2s. So we need like 2.5 machines feeding a module 3. And we need 2 machines feeding each module 2. All right, so we'll do this. So these can be module 1s. And these can be module 2s. And then 2.5, I'm going to need to move this pipe. Okay. And then we need 2.5 feeding the module 3. So how can we get that other half in here? These have a crafting speed of 2. So if we had something with a crafting speed of 1, that would give us the 2.5. This is 0.75. That's 0.9, 1.05. Okay, close enough, right? And in that case, I can use the same thing here. I need more speed modules. Okay, and then these are productivity 1s. All right, so this will be enough to feed a single productivity 3. Which we can do there. All right, so we can feed them this way. These are going to go like that. And I'm leaving that space so I can get a belt down here to feed these. Oh, and I should do the same here, actually. Oh, but then what about this one? Okay. Here, let's do this. That's going to be moved over one more. Okay. So this is going to be red and green circuits. And this is going to be red and blue circuits. And then the question is, how do I get the red and how do I get the red and blue circuits over here? Oh, I know. There. And then this can output into a chest. All right, let's look at our research. Okay, so we got all the robot research done that we can do. We've got more mining productivity to do as well, so I would do that next. All right, and then here we need inserters inserting in. Nope. And then power it up, and I think that's it. Okay, so let's get the belts run up here. We can upgrade this belt to red. Whoops. Okay, and then we need a belt of green, which I'll bring up here. We need to upgrade the rest of this to blue. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to split this off. Let's throw a few lights in here. Okay, good. And then we need to bring a belt of blue up as well. All right. I'm kind of violating my infrastructure rules here. Okay. There. Okay, and then we have red and blue. Okay, and then we can copy this. And repeat it up here. And it seems to be working okay. It's still going to be slower than molasses, but, you know. Especially for the first ones to get started. So let's see if this gets up to 5 by the time this one's done. It should come out just right. Yep, perfect. You know, and here we could have just overproduced and used all the same machines here, but I find it an interesting challenge to try to get the ratios just right and to use the least expensive means to get there. Now, the fact that we had to add speed modules, maybe that's not efficient. Maybe it would be better just to use, I mean, this way they're not gonna queue up, at least not until a long time. It is slightly faster than it needs to be, but we could put a yellow assembler there. That's 1.25. But then that's going to be 25% faster than it needs to be, whereas these are only 5% faster. They probably use more energy though, don't they? 300 kilowatts with the modules. One of these uses 210. Yeah. So this is actually not the most efficient way to do it. So let's just take the modules out and we'll use level 3 assemblers. And that'll be more than fast enough, but eventually we'll see some of those start to accumulate. Okay, so we've got 8 modules done so far. Let's look at our production rate on those. Let's see. Well, yeah, let's look at the 1 minute rate. We haven't been doing it that long. 21 a minute. And we could also look at consumption rates on circuits versus production. And we can see that we're consuming more than twice as much as we're making. So this would be a good time to upgrade the blue circuits. Right now I'm okay because I have a really big buffer of blue circuits down here. Right, I have I had 2 full chests. They're starting to go down. So what we should do now is upgrade all of these machines. And then we can drop in more modules. and still be running faster and get more production out with the same amount of resources. All right, so now we have a crafting speed of 0.8, which is faster than the level 2 assembler was with no modules. And we have twice as much productivity bonus, right? So that's a good upgrade. And I think we would want to take the first productivity 3s and put them down there as well. And after mining productivity is done, I would stop research. Oh, and here's the other thing that we can do. Because we do have a lot of productivity 1s. In the system, right? We have over 2,000 of them. So what we can do is we can request productivity 1s and use that to feed these productivity 2 assemblers, and that'll save us on resources too. And then let me make a bunch of red circuits. Oh, we don't even need the circuits actually. And then what we'll do here, we'll connect these to the logistics network, and we'll tell these to turn on when productivity 1 modules in the network is equal to 0. Right, so that way we'll only pull the productivity 1s from our logistics network until we reach the point that those are all gone, and then these will start to operate. And that'll save us a lot of red and green circuits. And doing that will help keep the blue circuits flowing through, which are usually going to be the bottleneck. Okay. Yikes. Why are my green circuits slowing down? What? What's going on, copper? Oh, I never upgraded the rest of those belts. Okay, we need more copper. Big time. And I think we need... No, we're okay on iron. We just don't have nearly enough copper coming in. All right. Well, hang on. Let's upgrade those blue circuits with these level 3s first. Okay. And then I'll stop requesting level 1s and I'll give those back to the network. And then we need to go upgrade the copper belts. And maybe it's time for a copper train too. No, we don't need a train. All right, so let's upgrade this to blue. That way we're taking 8 red belts in and compressing those to 4 blue belts out. And then we'll have to upgrade this as well. Now these at the back we don't have to upgrade because they're kind of slow anyway. Actually, is it even worth it to leave this running? I mean, this could probably just be 1 red belt. let's wait for this to clear, and I think we'll find that one red belt is enough to handle all of it easily. Yep. All right, so we'll get the rest of the red belts picked up. Man, these bots are fast. I love it. That is incredible. Okay, and then these are already balanced. So here's what we can do to save a little bit of resource. We'll just merge this one in with this belt. Okay. And then we can finish upgrading this. Okay. And I think it's all, yeah, I think it's all blue the rest of the way. All right, let's wait for this to feed up here and see what happens. Okay, and here's where we're feeding in excess copper ore. I'm going to increase that to, I don't know, 500, let's say. All right, yeah, now we've got nice full belts coming in. Right. So if we had a lot more time for this series and we were going to build up a megabase, what I would be doing now is letting that module setup just run, right? Because we're going to need to stockpile thousands of productivity 3s. In fact, I might even try to double this if I was making circuits fast enough, but I don't think it could handle it right now. And next step for me would be to set up a big copper mine on the train network, so I could bring in copper from outside, because the patch we have now is not going to last forever. I would stop science so that we can use all of our resources for making machines and inserters and belts and modules. And I would start building up the larger part of the base outside of the starter base. And I would start from the bottom up. I would start with smelting, but I would make the smelters with beacons and productivity 3 modules. Actually, I would just start with the productivity 3s, and then later on, when I have the resources to make speed module 3s as well, then I would go back later and add beacons. Because while you're building it, the speed doesn't really matter as much. You really just need the speed at the end when you're trying to, when you're trying to meet your targets. So what I would do is I would set up the external smelting. That's all fed by trains. I would set up the external circuit production, which means that you would also need a refinery outside of the starter base. And then when that's done, you can set up an external module factory, because by that time you'll be able to make circuits at a much faster rate than we're making them here in the starter base. And then you could set up something that makes twice as many productivity 3s as this, and the same amount of speed 3s at the same time, probably. If you have set up enough production, that's what I would go for. And then at that point, you could go back and add the beacons and speed modules to the previous. Oh yeah, I've got 2 more levels of mining productivity. I would probably keep the research going until I get up to 15 being complete. After that, you need space science. So I wouldn't launch any rockets after the first one, just to get that first win under your belt. And then once you have module production going, then you essentially at that point you can start to make science packs. You would need to build a steel smelter around that time, whereas you don't need steel to make circuits and modules, but you will need it to make science packs. So I would set up a steel smelter. And then I would start red, green, blue science packs and go up the line. And depending on how many you make, you might even be able to make like one area, one factory that's fed by trains, that where you make all of the science packs in the same place, and you could put all your labs there too and just have that be your science area. I did that in my Rail World Marathon series, which is like, I don't know, 2 or 3 series ago. That was in marathon mode, so I was in marathon mode. I was doing 500 science a minute, which is not a lot for a normal game, but in marathon mode, it consumed about as much resources as a 1,000 science a minute base would be in regular mode. And I set it up that way there. I had one train fed area that made all the science packs. So I had, I don't know, like 8 or 9 different types of materials coming in by train. I had the rocket area in a separate station, so I would bring in space science packs, and all my labs were there, and it was all run by robots, And then once you have that, you just start doing the infinite research of your choice. And for me, the first priority was always mining productivity, because once you get the mining productivity up to level 50 or 60, your mines are going to take a very long time to run out. And at that point, you're going to be very happy about it, because when you're consuming lots and lots of resources at that stage of the game, you're going to be setting up new mines practically nonstop, if you don't get your mining productivity up, because you're just going to be burning through the ore patches really fast. But with a very high level of mining productivity, you click on the miner and you see the productivity bar go 2 or 3 times for every one time that the progress bar goes. So you're getting like 200-300% output from your mining drills. And those free ones don't come out of the mining patch, right? They just kind of appear out of thin air. So when you do that, you can set up a mining outpost, and it'll run for a very long time at a very high level of output. Some of the guys that have these, 150, 200 hour bases, they get mining productivity up over 100, and it's ridiculous. You have like 8 mining drills filling a blue belt, and then you don't have to spend all your time just setting up mining outposts. So, all right. I think that's about all that I got. So thank you all for watching this series. I know it didn't end conclusively here. It kind of ended a while ago when we launched the rocket, and then the update got delayed, so I restarted with some of these mods, and it's been fun to play with them. But I feel kind of, with the short amount of time that we've got left, I feel like I don't have a lot of direction or focus on this series, and at this point, I think it'd be better just to bring it to a conclusion and wait for 17 to come out. And then we'll start a brand new base on a brand new map and explore all the cool stuff that the next version of the game has. So I look forward to having all of you join me then. I really can't wait. I'm excited about it. Hope you are too. And I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.